Hello and welcome to Transforming Studio Time at Learning to See Studios. Today we're going to delve more into the glue books, actually making a page for ourselves and getting to hear those pieces of the original interview I had with Marjolaine Walker that I had to cut out for the podcast for time constraints. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm looking forward to gathering inspiration and gluing the things in our pages that are catching our attention today, and then hearing what God has to say through this fun and relaxing process about where He's meeting us and the next step that He wants us to take, whether it's facing fears or moving towards a goal or just hearing a truth about our identity. Whatever it is fine, and I look forward to hearing your questions and seeing the art you create. We'll start with a little peek into Marjolaine's books.
This page here, I had literally I started getting my nails done about a year ago. And I was telling people, like, I can't explain it. I just show up differently when my nails are nice. It gives me confidence. Like, I can't explain it. I just know. And then I'm looking in a magazine, nice nails promote confidence. Oh, and here's a page. This is here for no other reason than I find it relaxing and peaceful just to look at it. Like, I kind of did a color theme where I just picked soft blues and just layered. The eggs mean nothing to me. Like, it's just, for me, it's just the prettiness of the colors. It's funny on the swimming. So here, like, there's these swimming pages, and then I ended up finding the words adventure takes flight in deep waters. Well, it's not in yet. I have to find the in to put there, but and then I have like an actual pool. But when I was looking for images, whenever I find swimming ones, I always pull them out, right? So this morning I found this one, so I pulled it out before reading what it said, and I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be interesting later when I figure out what I'm doing with this. It's actually an ad for tacos of all things. And
That's funny.
it says, in water I conquer all. In water I have no equals. In water I leave my competition ground up like beef with cheese on top. Okay, now I want a taco.
That is
And I'm like,
hilarious.
I'm like training in the pool 3 times a week, and like I'm starting to read this. I'm like, yes, I conquer all. And then it ends with wanting a taco. So I'm not sure how this will fit, but I know it's going to be fun.
And that's the great thing too about cutting and pasting is you don't have to use everything they write. If you don't want to, you could change something.
Well, normally I would paste something else on top of that, but I think that there might be something fun. And I think I want to remember that little poem or whatever. And also a little note about tape. So I used to use like expensive tape runners. I thought, oh, they cost so much money, so I'll order something from Amazon and see, and I discovered these and thought they were the best thing ever. And I went through a box of 12 and then bought another box of 12 before realizing that it doesn't last. So now some of my glue book's falling apart, so I got to go back with better tape. But I guess sometimes you do get what you paid for. Well, I'll just show you a little bit of how I pull things out. But so this morning I pull this out, make a splash. Now, it might not mean anything to you, but being all my lessons in the pool, right? But this especially makes me think because I just wrote a post on how it was about I was swimming and I inhaled someone else's water as they were splashing by. And I wrote a post about how just because someone splashes you, it doesn't mean you have to choke on it. And now I'm like, oh, and I get to make a splash too. So we'll see what I do with that. But so basically I just go through magazines and I pull out stuff. Like this one says permission to ache freely.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I don't need to, hide my pain and put a smile on my face and always pretend like everything's okay when it's not. Like I get to feel my pain. This I cut out because the Lord's showing me like about relaxation. Like I've been the kind of person that has to be doing something productive at all times. And I recently went to a spa and just like really truly relaxed. And the Lord was telling me like the importance of that. So I'm gonna have a page with some of this on there. This one I've realized recently that I have a huge passion for writing that I didn't even know was there. Like I write a lot, but I didn't realize how much I love writing. So I want this image. I love it. I love everything about this image. And sometimes
Great
things
image.
go on my book because I love the image and it doesn't have to mean anything deep. I just love it. This one happens to mean something. And then I see this and I'm like, it has to do with covering, but like someone to hold an umbrella over me. And I don't just mean that like for rain, I just mean as a covering. And I thought this was absolutely adorable, where these little animals are piled up on top of each other to hold the umbrella. And it just spoke deeply of friendship and connection. So I just thought it was cute.
It's amazing. Like, I wanna get a print of that. That's great.
I don't know. It's a pickle ad, but you'll love what isn't there. And that just speaks to me deeply because thinking of toxic stuff that's happened in my life, and I'm like, I am looking for something that doesn't have that. So, and then this was fun just because I was spending time with the Lord, and he just said, I want to go on an adventure with you. And I said, well, where do you want to go? And he said, Peru. And I thought, Peru? That's not on my list. I have a very long list of places that I want to go to. And I was like, well, why do you want me to go to Peru? So then I started researching Peru, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to Peru. And then I
Oh,
find it in
fun.
a magazine, right? I mean, I'm sure I've seen magazines with Peru in them all the time, but it never meant anything to me.
And that's a
So
great caption on that one too, the Empire of Hidden Treasure.
yeah, and I'm all about hidden treasure. So whether I'm in a thrift shop or in another country. And yeah, the
In
fun
your own
thing
life.
about ordering these teenager magazines is that you have all these like super fun. And I find some of these like at a thrift shop sometimes. So if you're thinking like those are $20 magazines or whatever, like the Somersets, I've found a lot of them. Bella magazine is another one that if I find those in a thrift shop, I buy every single one because they're so expensive, but they're so fun to use for this. So
I
yeah,
bet garage
that's
sales too would be great finds.
yes, garage sales for sure. Or like I'll get old books that I can cut up as well. But yeah, like these are just colorful backgrounds. It doesn't matter what it says because I'm just gonna cover it up anyways. Or like this is another teen magazine where like I think the pattern would just be fun. It's fun to put in there. And then my teenager self gets filled up too.
Oh, that's great. And what a great way to repurpose art. I mean, there's a ton of art and money that is paid to create those images and slogans in magazines, so why not put it to use?
Yeah, sometimes I really struggle with those amazing magazines because they're beautiful on both sides. So I've like put them aside, and I think I'm gonna do something with page protectors where I can add words or whatever I want to add to both sides of the page and then just put in a page protector, much like a scrapbook, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And then I don't have to choose between the two that I loved.
Do you ever come back and do written journaling on this? Or I don't know, when I see the what's the point? Reminds me of I just watched a lesson with someone who she really got into writing prayers to herself. And that sounds weird in that sentence, but it was as she listened to God, she felt like he was saying stuff to her. So she'd write it down as a letter from God to herself during her prayer time.
Definitely. This one has like all this space here. I feel like I'm gonna want to write here. Sometimes I don't put it directly on the page. Sometimes I'll make a pocket, right, where I don't glue and I could stick other information underneath. That's for my like scrapbooking days where we used to make hidden journaling pockets if we had a lot to say or where you just pull it out and read it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be, praying about this and writing about this, so it's quite possible that there's going to be some writing in here.
Yeah, that hidden journaling's nice too, because sometimes it's nice with like junk journaling or glue books or repurposed books or however you want to say that, to have things that nobody else can see. You know that they're there.
Yeah,
You
so
know how to
this
pull them out if you want.
so this book has writing and journaling, but I made it on purpose. Like I can read it, but you can't really. And I made the writing super fast and kind of messy because that wasn't the point. But yeah, it's got this one's got more writing in it. But again, I love that it doesn't have to be today,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
this jumped out at me today, and I'm like, wow, I go through this all the time. And then it's like now I get to speak to the Lord. I get to think about it. I get to speak to my inner child.
And
Um,
I think it's nice the way you do these glue books of it's just little bits at a time, and you might not even do multiple days or multiple steps on one page in a row. Maybe you come back a week later and you found a word, or you found a color, or God said something about that and you want to write a phrase in there. Because I feel like God does that. That's how he talks to me. Is he doesn't always give the whole thing at once. It's multiple layers, multiple interactions with people where the lesson or the clarity comes.
And like now when I go back, I'm probably gonna choose colors that are in this color scheme to like put on the side just because I like it to flow. But
Yeah.
there's no pressure. Like if this page doesn't get done for another whatever, right? There's not going to be anything on that page until I find the right thing.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be another water one because there's water here. I don't know. But it's a
Maybe it's
really a
so
go
cool,
with the
even
flow kind of thing.
go with the flow. In your swimming adventure is pretty inspiring. You said you had some water trauma before, and now you're doing triathlons, which require you to swim and exert yourself in different ways. And way to tackle those fears and come through on the other side.
Yes, and I mean, people look at the stuff I do and they're like, I can never, and with the swimming and everything, and it's like, you don't understand. Like, I started, I went to the Master Swim Club with surrounded by all these like amazing swimmers, like swimming laps, and meanwhile, I'm with the coach who's like telling me to blow bubbles in the water. Like, you know what the 3-year-olds do when they're learning how to swim? Like, that was me. I could swim, and I could swim for a long time, just don't ask me to put my face in the water. And so yeah, like I'm like, yeah, you're looking at where I'm at now, but even 2 months ago, I still had some mild panic attacks with some of the stuff that my coach was getting me to do. So like people look at where I'm at now, but I'm like, I started off with trauma that I had to deal with, and getting help, inner healing, and before I even got in the water, right? And so, yeah,
It's all
and
baby
glue
stuff.
booking does help me with that. As you could see, there's a lot of water and swimming things in here because the Lord is teaching me so much through pushing through, and getting healing for something. Because most people would say, well, I'm just not going to swim. I'm just going to not swim and not put my head in the water, and that's fine. But the Lord put a dream in me to be a triathlete, and and I've, not putting my face in has made it very difficult.
I'm thinking back to that magazine page you had earlier of you'll love what's not there when you finally put your face in the water.
Like this morning I was swimming with my head in, and just the feel of just not diving in. I'm not there yet. I still don't dive, but just kind of diving, surface diving, and the sound I made as I was gliding, and I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. Which is crazy. Like, because yeah, I've had to overcome other things too. I have misalignment with my neck, which causes motion sickness and dizziness and nausea while swimming. So, been getting some treatment for that and fixing that. And I want to encourage people that even if your dream feels impossible because you have some like huge obstacles in the way, the Lord doesn't expect you to just go dive off the deep end, right?
No,
He
he
will put
doesn't.
he'll put the right people, even if that's a coach helping you to blow bubbles in the water. Which, took care of some pride issues too, because it was like, oh my goodness. And meanwhile, if a drop of water would get in my throat, I would start an asthma attack on the spot because my body, it was the fear, right? Like, I don't consider myself to have asthma, but the fear of choking would just send the single, danger, danger. And so I had to overcome that. But it was all in the tiniest little steps. And so maybe your tiny step is that you start a glue book with those things that you're afraid of, and let the Lord speak to you about the tiny steps that you can take.
Yeah.
Like this one page about the swimming, I made that page when I was not where I am, but swimming like a fish, like I'm declaring that I'm going to be a good swimmer, right? And then I found the word I can, and so I just add to it. And this says, just jumping in a lake or river somewhere gives you a tremendous sense of freedom. And yeah, like instead of just continuing my life with that fear, I'm just pushing through in small ways, and it gets easier.
Wow, that's a great way to sum it all up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Push through the resistance and the fear and see what's there. See where
And
God
I
meets you there in the little tiny steps.
Exactly. And I really, really hope that your listeners will let you know about the steps that they're taking, because I look forward to hearing what people will be up to and seeing your glue books and even if it's just one page, I just tag me. I would love to see them. I love it when people hear me speak and then they go do the thing that I recommended and get a lot out of it. So I look
It's
forward
so
to seeing all
encouraging,
that.
isn't it?
It is.
How we
Yeah.
can inspire each other by just trying some things out and showing our process. Cool. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you?
So I'm on Facebook. I've reached my limit for friends, but if you can follow me though and see what I'm up to, even if I can't necessarily accept you as friend. And then you can message me through Facebook. That's one that I'm on regularly. Don't do it on Instagram because it could be months before I actually remember to go check. So, and then through email, Marjolaine at marjolinewalker.com is a good way. Um, those are my two best ways.
Those are your best ways. And do you
Yeah.
have any classes or can they work on one-on-one with you?
Yeah, they can work one-on-one with me. And if you sign up for my email on my website, then you'll know what I'm up to. Like I don't run my program constantly, but if you get involved, then you'll know when I make it available again. And one-on-one, I can do almost any time. There's months that I take off, but and then yeah, you can pray that I finally transfer all my courses from before onto my new platform and make those available. It's on my list, but
It's a big
on my
jump, but one step at a time. Who
yeah,
is
and
your
I've
assistant?
oh, this is Promise. She's definitely my art cat. She's always in my art stuff and stealing my paintbrushes and um but yeah, I'm trying to hire someone to do some of this work, but that's not always simple either. So
Mm.
but yeah, and I do different things. Like I have one of the courses I want to transfer is discovering your identity through creativity. So it's a bit of a not a Bible study, but kinda. And then there's like a very simple art activity with it. So I really want to relaunch that one because it's good. And then I do a lot of stuff with prayer. So I have a prayer book, which also includes creativity,
Yes,
which
I did that one with you. You had a free couple-day retreat online with your prayer process, and it's really powerful.
yeah, like I love that one too. And I'm always working on stuff. Finishing sometimes is hard because yeah. Um, but yeah, I love working with people and just even connecting. Like I love when people just message me, and we just get to chat. Even if you're not buying into any of my programs, I still love to connect with people. And then I do some free stuff along the way every year, multiple times a year, and so it's good to can either follow me on Facebook or be on my email so that you can know when those things happen because I think like I've done week-long things that have been really powerful and just made some really great connections and just meet awesome women and yeah, and Jen and I are actually doing something together.
It is fun. It's fun to collaborate. It's fun to just meet other people that are like-minded, different but like-minded. And remember that we're all over the world. None of us are alone.
Exactly.
Thanks for all your encouragement. Thanks for the work you're doing. And I'm excited to share with people these glue book ideas of just a little moment can make a difference. And you can return to it over and over.
Well, thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure.
Likewise. Promise I'm glad you got to introduce yourself too.
She's
He's
lovely.
beautiful.
She's lovely.
Uh, well, take care and good luck in your races this summer. And
Thank you.
hopefully your body stays strong enough to get through those for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Well, if you haven't already been gathering supplies or finding images or even starting to glue your page together, now's the time to pause the video and create your own glue book page. Did you enjoy that process? Were you surprised by what came out? I sure was. I ended up using a postcard that Dr. Amy Bacos had sent me a while ago as my base, and I was able to make a two-sided postcard bookmark that will keep reminding me of this time with the Lord. I had no grand plan of where this was going, and I created in silence and was surprised by what developed and how deep the prayers went as I just played with supplies that were catching my attention today. There was a page in a woodworking magazine that had been catching my attention for a couple weeks, and I wanted to do something with it. What I ended up doing in the end was just taking the word keepsakes out of it and the watch that was on the page. The watch reminded me of some family heirlooms, which got me thinking about family. My uncle just died this week, and that really started me thinking of the photos we've been collecting about his 80 years on this planet and the memories I wanted to keep alive of him. And then it got me thinking about other things in our family that need healing and some intentional things that I want to be praying for and doing with my family along the lines of protecting the keepsakes that matter most, and then praying for the salvation of all my family members who have drifted away from God or who are actively opposed to God. This is a really special page for me. And then as I was flipping through the magazine, I saw this picture of the St. Louis Arch being built, and it reminded me of stuff that I talk about in therapy all the time about how big bridges are built on both sides. I use it to compare to relationships. No one can do all the work to heal the rift. It requires work from both sides. And so this picture really surprised me when I came upon it, as it reminded me of a picture that hung in my uncle's house that I had long admired and apparently associate more with visits to his house and their family than I realized. I used an alphabet washi tape to create some of the words on both sides, and then I used a white paint marker to add some journaling in the background there. And I didn't write sentences, I just wrote words as they popped to mind as I prayed for the situations. On the left side are words about wounding that need healing, and on the right side are words about the actions and mindsets and heart motivations that will be required for the healing process. And in the middle, under the arch, are words about what the benefits and the rewards of the healing will be like what will it be when the healing has taken place. I hope you enjoyed this glue book focus on Transforming Studio, and I hope you will consider sharing your thoughts on this exercise, what it was like for you, and even possibly the image that you created. You can tag both Marjolaine and I for this, and we will encourage you onward. And make sure you check out the write-up today as well for extra links, processing questions, supplies, etc. Thanks again for joining. Have a great day.